All right, today on The Explainer, we're doing something really interesting. We're going to go deep inside a pretty powerful and, let's be honest, controversial speech from 1979. It was delivered by Sun Myung, and we're going to unpack the incredible psychological framework he built to keep his followers going, even through some really, really tough times. Okay, let's dive in. So, right out of the gate, the speech hits its audience, these folks called the mobile fundraising teams, with this absolutely staggering statement. I mean, think about that. This isn't just your average pep talk. No way. This immediately frames the whole message as something of cosmic importance. He's literally placing these individuals right at the center of a huge universal drama. You know, what's so fascinating about this speech is the psychological journey it takes people on. So, to really get it, we're going to follow that exact path. We'll start with the members' ordeal, then look at their divine mission, what was happening with America's moral crisis at the time, the new self they had to forge, and finally, the big payoff, the prophesied future. All right, first up, the members' ordeal. And this is where the speech starts, which is pretty amazing when you think about it. It doesn't kick off with some big, glorious statement. Nope, it jumps right into the tough stuff, the ridicule and the hardship these members were dealing with day in and day out. And there it is. That's the question the speech basically assumes is burning inside every single person listening. By just coming out and saying it, it's like he's telling them, I get it. I hear your frustration. I know you're angry. You know, acknowledging that struggle head on like that, that is a really powerful and, frankly, smart move, especially when the world outside is so hostile to you. And then the speech paints this incredibly stark picture of before and after. It's all about this complete 180-degree turn their lives have taken. You know, you went from personal freedom to this really firm discipline, from making money for yourself to making it all for a public purpose. This contrast is hammered home again and again to really reinforce just how much they've sacrificed for this new life. So the big question is, why would anyone put up with all that? Well, this brings us to section 2, the divine mission. This is where the speech does something brilliant. It reframes all that suffering. It's not just a pointless struggle anymore. It's the key to fulfilling a divine mission. This is where personal pain gets linked to a massive cosmic purpose. Okay, so who exactly is he talking to? It's the MFT, which stands for Mobile Fundraising Team. And it's so important to get this. Their job, going out on the streets and raising money from the public, it's not just some side gig. Oh no, it's framed as the absolute central, most critical part of the entire mission to save the world. This is where their work gets elevated into something way more than just collecting donations. I mean, fundraising is suddenly not about the money at all. It's reframed as a chance to literally feel what God feels, to share in his suffering. They're being told that every time someone rejects them on the street, they're basically walking in God's shoes. It's a profound spiritual act. So the speech lays out this really clear kind of step-by-step logic. Step 1, humanity messed up big time with the original sin, creating this degraded animal called man. Step 2, because of that, God is suffering, like constantly. And then step 3, and this is the kicker, you, the members, are the only people on Earth who get it. So guess what? It's your unique responsibility to make it right. Okay, section 3, America's moral crisis. See, this whole mission isn't happening in a vacuum. It's got a very specific battlefield, America. And to really feel the urgency here, you gotta remember what 1979 was like. We're talking post-Vietnam, Cold War fears, hippies, drugs. The country felt like it was in a real tailspin. And the speech taps right into that anxiety, painting this picture of a nation that is just crumbling. And to really dial up that sense of urgency, the speech just unloads this whole list of threats. You've got communism on the outside, and then on the inside, kids becoming hippies, getting into drugs, failing foreign policy, free sex, the whole shebang. It's presented as this spiritual dynamite that's about to go off, and who's the only one who can stop it? You guessed it. The members are positioned as the last line of defense against this whole destructive wave. So, if you're facing a crisis this big, what do? Well, that leads us to section 4, forging a new self. The speech basically argues that just doing the work isn't enough. You, the member, have to fundamentally change. You have to go through this deep internal transformation and become a totally different person, from a peanut to a giant. Now, this is just an incredible piece of psychological jujitsu. It's a total reframing of all the bad stuff that happens to them. You see, getting ridiculed or persecuted isn't a bad thing anymore. It's an opportunity. Every person who's mean to you is actually just another rung on the ladder you're climbing, a ladder that leads all the way up to sainthood. It completely flips the script on suffering. And he uses this really vivid metaphor to explain the change. You start as a peanut and you become a giant. So the old you, the peanut, is just this small, ordinary person who gets angry or ashamed when people are mean. But the new you, the giant, you're centered on God and your mission. You can take that same hardship and actually feel grateful for it. It's the pressure from the outside that forges this incredible, unbreakable strength on the inside. And this is the peak. This is where their identity is just elevated to a whole new level. I mean, you're not just a fundraiser anymore. You're not even just a church member. You are literally becoming the parents of America. You are the forefathers of a brand new reborn nation. The scale of that claim is just immense. All right, final section, the prophesied future. So after laying out the struggle, the mission, the national crisis, and the personal transformation, what's it all for? What's the payoff? Well, this is it. The speech ends with this grand vision of the future, a time when all their suffering will finally be vindicated, even glorified. It's the light at the end of a very long tunnel. And it doesn't just leave it vague, it lays out a pretty clear timeline for how this is all going to go down. Right now, today, yeah, you're getting ridiculed, you're an outcast. But tomorrow, public opinion's going to start to shift. And in the future, America itself will actually repent for how it treated you. And your legacy? You'll be seen as the essential treasure of this nation. It's a complete flip from outcast to hero. And here's the core promise, and it's almost like a simple equation. The more you suffer today, the more you're going to shine in the future. It's a direct investment. Every bit of hardship you endure right now is basically being banked, and it's going to pay out as glory and honor down the road. The connection is made crystal clear. And to make this promise feel even more real, even more tangible, the speech puts a number on it. It predicts that in just 10 to 15 years, the work of the MFT will be the stuff of legend. And get this, the very same people who are giving you a hard time now will be the ones sitting around talking about those wonderful young people and how dedicated they were. So, to wrap it all up, what we've seen here is how this speech builds an incredibly powerful narrative. It takes the real, everyday pain of being ridiculed and completely transforms it into a divine mission. It's a journey that turns its followers from, these ordinary peanuts into world-saving spiritual giants who are destined to rescue America and be honored for it. And that leaves us with a pretty deep question, right? It's really about the nature of belief itself. What we've just walked through is a masterclass in how to build conviction even when it feels like the whole world is against you. So it kind of forces you to ask, what's the difference between an unwavering faith that can achieve the impossible and a narrative that's just so powerful it starts to create its own reality? Something to think about.